Hi, my name is Melita.
And I'm Megan.
And this is our stats and extracurriculars video because a couple of you guys commented that you want more information on our applications that got us into Stanford, Caltech, Duke, Penn, and the schools listed on the screen. So to start off with test scores, we both took the SAT and the ACT. On the SAT, I got a 1590 with an 800 in math and a 790 in reading, writing. And then on the ACT, I got a 36 with a 36 in math and English and a 35 on science and reading.
For the SAT, I also got a 1590 with an 800 math and a 790 reading, writing. And I ended up getting a 35 on the ACT, but I decided not to submit that just because I thought the 1590 looked a little stronger.
In terms of class rank, our class size was around 110. We go to a small private school in Florida, and our school doesn't rank students, so all we were allowed to put was top 10% for decile ranking. Our unweighted GPA was both 4.0, which means we got straight A's throughout high school, and then for weighted GPA at the time of applying, we both had a 4.85. Okay, so for freshman year at our school, there's not a lot of flexibility on what classes you can take. So most of the classes are just requirements or classes that all freshmen take. So I'm just going to be reading them in the order that they are on our transcript. So literature and composition 1 honors, AP Calculus BC, AP Statistics, Biology honors, Scientific Research honors, Modern World History honors, Spanish 4 honors, Health, and then Principles of Robotics. And then for AP scores on AP Calculus BC, I got a 5 with a 5 on the AB subscore, and for AP Statistics, I got a 5.
And then I also got a 5 on those same exams. So for sophomore year, I'll also just be reading it in order from our transcript. We have English 2 honors, advanced topics in multivariable calculus, AP Biology, Chemistry honors, Scientific Research honors, AP Modern World History, AP Spanish Language and Culture, and AP Computer Science A. So for AP Biology, we both got a 5. AP Modern World History, we both got 5s. AP Spanish Language and Culture, we both got 5s. And for AP Computer Science A, we both got 5s.
And then for junior year, our schedule was mostly APs. So AP English Language and Composition, an independent study in math, AP Chemistry, Scientific Research honors, AP US History, AP Spanish Literature, AP Seminar, and Advanced Topics in Robotics. So for AP English Language, I got a 5. For AP Chemistry, I got a 5. AP US History, I got a 4. AP Spanish Lit, I got a 4. And AP Seminar, I got a 5.
And then I ended up getting a 5 on all of those exams.
So these are senior year classes. English Honors, an independent study in math, Scientific Research, AP Physics C Mechanics, AP Physics C Electricity and Magnetism, which our school doesn't offer, so we self-studied, AP Government, Advanced Topics in Spanish, AP Research, and Advanced Topics in Robotics too. So the first honor I put was the AMC 12 Distinguished Honor Roll. So the AMCs are the series of math competitions that middle schoolers and high schoolers compete in. If your school offers the AMCs and you are interested in STEM or math, I definitely suggest that you take it. It's very low stakes. So basically the Distinguished Honor Roll is just top 1% internationally. And then in this same honor title, I put the Jane Street AMC 12 Certificate of Excellence, which is just given to one of the top 5 female scorers in Florida. And for context, my AMC 12 score was a 144 out of 150. So for my second honor, I put that I was a 4-time AIME qualifier and that I competed at Math Prize for Girls at MIT twice. So the AIME is just a continuation of the AMC 12 or AMC 10. So if you score in a certain percentile for the AMC competitions, they invite you to take the AIME. And then Math Prize for Girls is one of the biggest math competitions for girls, and it's hosted at MIT every year. And basically, if you score above a certain cutoff on the AMCs, then you are invited to compete. Okay, so my third award is the NC WIT Aspirations in Computing National Honorable Mention, which is given to 400 people nationally each year. And NC WIT is an organization that promotes women in technology and computer science. And I hadn't heard of the organization up until my senior year. So I only applied for the award senior year and I got a national honorable mention, but you are allowed to apply 9th through 12th grade. And they have a lot of different levels of awards, from local, regional awards to national awards. So if you are a girl and interested in computer science, I definitely recommend you apply.
And they have tons of resources and opportunities to reach out to different mentors and just network in general. So there's a lot of ways to get involved in the community, even if you don't end up winning an award.
So my fourth honor is related to robotics. So we're both on a VEX robotics team. So I put that we qualified for the World Championship twice, that we won the Inspire Award at the Mall of America Signature event, and that we also won the Design Award at States twice. And then my last honor was National Merit semifinalist, which is given to top 1% of PSAT scores, which you take your junior year.
So for my honors, my first honor was Regeneron ISIF, or like the International Science and Engineering Fair, which I had qualified for twice as of the time I applied, as well as NC-WIT National Honorable Mention. For my second honor, it was more math competition based, like Melita's. So I was a 5 times Amy qualifier, and I had attended Math Prize for Girls 4 times. And then I also had a score of 144 out of 150 on the AMC 12. Then I put this in like a separate category, but I wrote 2 times AMC 12 Distinguished Honor Roll, which is that top 1%, as well as the Jane Street AMC 12 Certificate, which is one of the top female scorers in each state, in my case, Florida. And then I was a USABO, or USA Biology Olympiad, semifinalist Certificate of Merit, which is the top 225 out of about 10,000 test takers. And then my last honor was also National Merit semifinalist.
So because we competed in a lot of STEM competitions, we kind of had to group our awards together. That was just something we chose to do because we really wanted to highlight certain awards, and you're only allowed to list 5 on Common App. So we did have to group similar awards together just so that we could fit it in. Another option is to put some of those awards in the additional information section.
Or in your activity section if it's related to a certain extracurricular you do.
Okay, so now we're just gonna go over some of our extracurriculars. My number 1 extracurricular was a summer research program I did the summer before my senior year. And that program is the Yale Summer Program in Astrophysics. So basically, we spend 4 weeks at Yale conducting research on a recent supernova, and we wrote a research paper and presented it in a symposium style. So this program, I hadn't really heard of it, so I did happen to just apply and I was accepted, but only 32 people are selected each year internationally. So I feel that the summer program was a big part of my application, especially because I kind of had a research spike, and also I learned a lot from the program, both in terms of research and academic experience, but also socially and gaining experience. I could write for essays, and yeah.
And my first activity was the University of Florida Student Science Training Program, which was also a summer program the summer before senior year. And that's a 7-week residential program at UF, where each student gets placed in a lab and gets to conduct research under a mentor, but it's like very independent. And we each write our own research papers, give presentations, learn a lot from our mentors and PIs. I would highly recommend, especially if you're in Florida, just because a lot of the program does consist of Floridians, but if you're anywhere, especially the US, I'd highly recommend applying, because I learned a lot, not just about research, but the process of talking to other people and sharing my ideas.
And I think another reason that both of these summer programs played a big role in our applications is that some schools have a research supplement where you're allowed to submit a research paper and also a letter of recommendation from a research mentor. So for the research supplement at schools like Caltech, Columbia, I submitted the research paper that I wrote at my summer program. And for that research paper, I was in a group, so don't feel like your research has to be just yourself. If you're a part of any sort of research project and you wrote a paper and are able to get a letter of recommendation, I recommend that you submit that in a research portfolio or supplement for the schools that do offer it. Okay, so for the rest of our activities, we have very similar extracurriculars just because at our school we were involved in the same clubs and kind of had similar leadership positions
and similar interests.
Yeah, so we're just going to be kind of going over them together, especially because they are so similar. So the next activity is VEX Robotics. So we were both on a robotics team with 2 other members on it, And for robotics, this was a very big time commitment. We did it all 4 years, and we qualified for the World Championship in Dallas twice, and we won a lot of awards through our engineering notebook. So we won the top award for our engineering notebook at the Florida State Championship, and also we've volunteered at various robotics competitions and also mentored younger students.
And then another activity we both had was president of Math Honor Society and Mu Alpha Theta. So we both helped run a school-wide math competition where we got all grades involved and just taught everyone a little bit about what it means to work together in terms of competition math.
And also we helped coach a younger math counts team at our school. So just mentoring middle school mathletes.
And then here I also included a few smaller awards for Mu Alpha Theta Nationals that I couldn't fit in the honor section.
So the next activity is Coding Club, which is just where we went over coding concepts and competed in various coding competitions.
For another one of our activities, we both helped our local organization that runs science and engineering fairs.
And then for my last activity, I was a research assistant at Penn State for an astrophysics research project. So after my summer program, which was an astrophysics research program, I knew that I wanted to continue pursuing research, but the local university doesn't really have a physics or astronomy department. So I cold emailed various professors who I thought their research was interesting, and I asked if there were any ways I could contribute. And I got a response from Penn State. So basically throughout this past year, I've been working with a grad student and doing Python analysis.
And then I also reached out to our local university, and since they have more biology research, I was able to serve as an assistant to one of the mentors at the university, and I helped her conduct some lab work. And other than that, since there weren't many opportunities to work on a larger project, and especially because I was interested in more computational research, I reached out to a few other universities and helped serve as an assistant for their research as well. So if you guys want any tips for cold emailing, let us know, because it's definitely a process and it can be a bit intimidating, but in the end, it's definitely worth it.
So thank you for watching our video. Please make sure to subscribe and comment down below what other videos you may want or any questions you may have, and I'll make sure to respond to the